Top of the first inning for Tennessee, number 4, Bryson Robbins.
Hi, everybody. We are set for baseball. It is championship time. Dixie Boys Baseball World Series, the title game. It is down to this. Tennessee and Florida battling. One team will come away triumphant. The other will have gotten so close. Tennessee and Florida, Bryson Robbins leading things off for Tennessee. What a game Robbins had in the prior contest, but not just on the bump where he pitched a one-hitter and struck out 9, but also at the plate where he went 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored and an RBI. It has been a big day for Bryce Robbins, and he leads things off for Tennessee here in the top of the first. Rest of the lineup, Connell Harden batting second. Jacob Bryant is the 3-hitter. John Wilson in the 4 spot. James Wilson hits 5th. Jackson Hayes is the 6-hitter. Bobby Clifton in the 7 spot. Brandon French hits 8th. And Noah Moncrief is the 9-hitter. All facing Garrett Carapresso, who is on the hill for Florida. Rest of the Florida defense as the pitch is just a little bit outside, 3-1. Behind the plate, Josh Valente. Caleb Strotz at first. The second baseman is Jeremy Santiago. At shortstop, Connor Fosno. Evan Griffiths is at third. And on 5 pitches, a walk issued to Bryson Robbins to begin the Tennessee first. So a base runner aboard. Rest of the defense for Florida, Spencer Hawes is in left. The center fielder is Connor Doyle. Drew Taylor in right field. So a base runner on. Connell Harden coming to the plate. Jacob Bryant will follow. Coverage brought to you this afternoon by Louisiana Dixie Boys Baseball, the city of Bossier, Louisiana. Dixie Boys Baseball, Inc., state of Alabama, South Carolina, Virginia, Florida, Tennessee, and Georgia. Dixie Boys in Majors Baseball, Cypress Plumbing. Also a big thanks to previous sponsors of pre-majors and majors World Series Baseball. North Charleston, South Carolina Parks and Recreation, the city of Ozark. Alabama Dixie Majors, Louisiana, Virginia, South Carolina Dixie Majors, Washington County Tourism, all making coverage possible. Count even at 1 on Harden. Throw goes over to first, and able to get back safely is Robbins. One ball, couple of strikes on Connell Harden. Jacob Bryant moving to the on-deck circle. It is warm in Bossier City, Louisiana. Yesterday we had 95 and a heat index of 104. This one gets underway with 88 and a heat index of 96. So it's just pleasant. Pitch over the head of Harden, and that's got Robbins on his way to second. Robbins in the opening game had Noah Moncrief run for him. Robbins taking care of the running duties as well because he's not playing the pitcher's role. So Robinson on the base pad and is now in second. There are some pitches left in Robbins, though. I think he could come to the mound if called upon, around 30-plus pitches they could get out of Bryson Robbins. Foul against the screen to run the count even at 2 on Harden. Jacob Bryant next. The Junior Dixie Boys World Series title has been decided. And it will go across Mobile Bay into Fairhope, Alabama, as they win at 6-4 over Bossier City, Louisiana. So Alabama has taken the title in the Junior Boys, and now of the 5 World Series, 15U pre-majors, majors, Junior Dixie Boys and Dixie Boys, we are down to this one. Tennessee and Florida in the Dixie Bowl title game. 2-2 offering from Carapresso. Flutters it over to short. Fosno will make the catch. Robbins dives back into second, and there's one away. So a base runner in scoring position. As Jacob Bryant comes to the plate, John Wilson will follow. Well, the rest of the stuff. Community, South-Southwest at 8. Got an odd breeze in center field as that pops out of the mid of Valente. Heading towards third. Robbins, he will get there safely. You got the 2 flags to my left that are fluttering away from the mast, and then a flag or 2 towards the right doing the same, and then the ones in the middle pretty much gentle. Now one picks up. Base runner at third, 1 away. Jacob Bryant awaits. Tennessee trying to bring into this one that formula that produced 13 runs against South Carolina in the game prior. Tennessee's only loss to this Florida team and would like to exact some revenge. 3 pitches outside of the strike zone to Bryant. Here's the 3-0 offering. Upstairs, walk issued to Bryant, and 2 walks in the inning result in a couple of base runners on.
Bringing to the plate, cleanup hitter, the pitcher, number 11, John Wilson.
So John Wilson to the plate with Robbins at third, Bryant at first. Sandwiched between the walks was the fly out by Harden. If you go back to the opening game this morning, Tennessee and South Carolina, Tennessee made an early statement, plating 3 runs in the first and never looked back, and then exploded in the 5th for 8 runs to wrap up the game early. Swing and a miss by Wilson. And West Seminole, Florida will tell you they were expecting about a 2.5 hour game and a start time around 1 o'clock. The opening game ended around 11:15, 11:30. And thus this one gets underway a little shy of 12:30.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 2, Landon Stillman.
Wrapped over towards short by Jackson Hayes. And there is out number 3. Our apologies, some kind of snafu that took our coverage away momentarily. What happened while we were away, James Robinson wrapped a shot into right field, and that brought Robbins in. So Robbins comes in and scores, and Tennessee takes a 1-0 advantage into the bottom part of the first. So hopefully our technical issues resolved, and here we go with the bottom of the first. Top of the order for Florida when we come back to Bossier City. Tennessee Dixie Boys baseball, Majors baseball as well, proud to support this broadcast. David Johnson, Tennessee State Director, along with the entire Tennessee Board of Directors, wishes all of the teams the best in World Series play. We're glad that we can help support the live broadcast of the Final Four of the World Series that's being held here in Bossier City, Louisiana. We congratulate our 2 state championship teams from Dyersburg. Visit the website at dixie.org/boys for the latest information.
On the mound for Tennessee, number 11, John Wilson. Leading off the
Top part of the first, Robbins comes in and scores on the Wilson base hit. And Tennessee bringing a one-zip advantage into the bottom part of the inning. Connor Fosno leading things off for Florida. Rest of the order, Jeremy Santiago batting in the 2 spot. Miguel Wright is the 3-hitter. Caleb Strott's got the 4 spot. Evan Griffiths hitting 5th. Spencer Hawes is the 6-hitter. Drew Taylor in the 7 spot. Garrett Carapresso is the 8-hitter. And Connor Doyle batting in the 9 hole. Connor Fosno, followed by Santiago and Wright, all facing Tennessee's John Wilson on the hill. Behind the plate, James Wilson, the first baseman Jackson Hayes. It is wrapped to second. Moncrief's got it over to first. Fosno is out, number 1.
Fosno grounds out, the first out of the inning.
And second, Noah Moncrief. The shortstop is Jacob Bryant for Tennessee. Canel Hardin batting in that, or make that playing third. Of course, he bats second. Outfield has got Bobby Clifton in left. The center fielder is Bryson Robbins. Brandon French is in right. Hit in the direction of center field, and chasing it down is Bryson Robbins. Santiago out, number 2.
Out to center field for the second out of the inning. Brings to the plate the 3-hole hitter, the designated hitter, number 17, Miguel.
So 2
Wright.
quick outs as Miguel Wright makes his way to the plate. Caleb Strott moving to the on-deck circle. When you get to the second inning for Tennessee, it's the bottom third of the order coming to the plate. Just a little bit low, and the count goes even at 1. Swing and a miss. Wright goes down. And Florida will go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. Fosno, Santiago, and Wright. We have played 1, and after 1, Tennessee has got a 1-zip advantage. We head to the top of the second. Clifton, French, and Moncrief when we return.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Florida Dixie Boys Baseball proud to support this broadcast. Frank Hagler, Florida Dixie Boys, and Major State Director, and Denise Stallings, Assistant Director, wish all of the teams the very best. We recognize the commitment necessary to reach this point, and we're glad that we can help support the live broadcast of the Final Four of the Junior Dixie Boys and Dixie Boys World Series. The 2018 Florida State champions from Spring Hill and West Seminole, great representatives for our Junior Boys and Dixie Boys divisions. I'm trying to iron through a few little technical issues. Not sure what's created a glitch in the software, but hopefully it is functioning properly and you're able to Watch the coverage. Bobby Clifton wraps it over the head of left fielder Spencer Hawes. All the way to the fence it goes, and Clifton will motor his way to second with a leadoff double.
Clifton doubles the left, bringing up the right fielder, number 16.
So Tennessee with a base runner in scoring position compliments of the leadoff double. Brandon French coming to the plate. Noah Moncrief will follow. One nothing Tennessee advantage, and maybe they are picking up where they left off. 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 8 in the fifth in the preceding game. And in this one, you've got 1 run in the first, and now batting here in the second. And with a base runner in scoring position, it is sent foul by French. Base runner on top part of the second, 1-zip Tennessee lead over Florida. It is the Dixie Boys World Series championship game. In the junior division, as I mentioned, Fairhope, Alabama has taken the title, and here we are with the last game. After all of these games over the course of 5 days, throw goes to second, diving back in safely, Clifton. Clifton thought about third, but Santiago able to track it down pretty quickly. Good decision to stay put. I've got a text that says, don't see the score on the top left. Did see where that, for some reason, like I say, the software has decided to pick up some kind of strange glitch. Again, a throw to second. Should be up now, though. 1-0 advantage. Tennessee over Florida, top part of the second. Count 2-1. Stepping out of the box is French. Back in he goes. Clifton, the base runner, at second. Here's the 2-1 offering. Just a little bit outside, and the count runs to 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 base runner on, nobody gone. Tennessee part of the second. Noah Moncrief to follow. Fouled off and the count runs full. So I think everything is back to normal. If it is not, give me a shout. Say it ain't. And by the way, speaking of give me a shout, we are in the top part of the second. Swing and a miss. Out goes French. Typically the time that we open up our lines for shout-outs. 334-488-1385, the number.
Robbins on deck.
And it's the number that are posted on your screen on the scoreboard. 334-488-1385. By now, you probably know what we're looking for in a shout-out. Who it's to, who it's from, where it's from. And 2, if you're watching at work and the boss doesn't mind that you watch at work, we'll give the work spot a little free publicity if you want to include that too. Inside pitch to Moncrief. And lastly, but not leastly, selfies. You got a big watch party going on, or maybe even a small watch party going on. Snap a photo, text it. Stick on there a little caption so we can acknowledge it on Facebook. All to 334-488-1385. Outside 3-1. Carapresso has seemingly thrown a lot of tosses through a couple of innings. Bryson Robbins moves to the on-deck circle. Hit to Santiago at second. He looks and sees Clifton trot to third and then throws over to first to get Moncrief on the 4-3 putout. 2 gone as we go back to the top of the order.
Tennessee All-Stars, the center fielder, number 4, Bryson Robbins. Harden on deck.
It has been a perfect day at the plate for Bryson Robbins. In the opening game, 4 plate appearances, 3 base hits, and a walk. In this one, 1 plate appearance, it was a walk. Canal Harden moving to the on-deck circle. No balls and a strike on Robbins. Harden will be next. Lifted over into foul territory and out of play. Florida in the bottom of the second sends the 4, 5, and 6 spots to the plate. Stride, Griffiths, and Hawes. Carapresso, the left-hander. Robbins, a lefty. And here's the 0-2. It is floated into right field, another base hit, and the perfect day remains perfect for Robbins. He drives in Tennessee's second run as Clifton comes in from third.
Robbins drives in the run from third, bringing up the third baseman, number 18.
And Tennessee will take a 2-zip lead.
Bryant on deck.
Three, 4, 8, 8, 1385 to send shoutouts. This one says, let's go Florida. Good luck. God bless. Shout out to Bossier City and Robert Kyle for bringing this World Series to our hometown from Stephen Lewis. Indeed, a great spot for a World Series. The folks here have done an exceptional job. I mentioned it yesterday. You go to some parks to set up, and it's we're over here doing this, stay out of our way. Here it was, what can we do? How can we help? Appreciate the folks here. Come on, Tennessee, from Gwen and Tammy in Dyersburg. Let's go, Connell Harden. Grammy is watching in South Fulton, Tennessee. So proud of Team Tennessee. Thanks, Grammy. Into the strike zone to Harden. Harden popped out to short in the first. Jacob Bryant to the on-deck circle. Tennessee with a 2-zip lead here in the top of the second. Two gone and Robbins on. Over towards right. Santiago dives to try to get to it. Cannot. In shallow right, and it's going to be credited, I would think, as a base hit to Harden. Robbins will go to second.
Bringing up the shortstop, number 13, Jacob Bryant. Wilson on deck.
So a couple of base runners aboard as Jacob Bryant comes to the plate. Bryant walked in the first. Here's the Carapresso pitch. Outside of the strike zone to the opposite side of the plate to the right-hander Bryant. Florida's second, Strott, Griffiths, and Hawes. 4, 5, and 6 coming to the plate. Into left field, another base hit. Will it score Robbins? He is given the green light. Comes home. The throw in from left field. Not designed, though, to pick off Robbins, and Tennessee makes it a 3-zip lead.
Bryant drives in the run on the base hit to left, bringing up the pitcher, number 11, John Wilson. James Wilson on deck.
Still a couple of base runners aboard, and now Tennessee takes a 3-zip lead in the top of the second. John Wilson, who struck out in the first, coming to the plate here in the second. James Wilson to the on-deck circle. Popped up in the direction of center field. Connor Doyle with plenty of room to make the catch, leaving a couple of base runners on. But Tennessee again plating runs. Score twice, make it 3-zip as we head to the bottom of the second and to the 4, 5, and 6 spots for Florida.
Baseball of Alabama wishes our teams from Alabama the best in World Series play being held in Bossier City, Louisiana. The state of Alabama has won 4 junior boys titles since World Series play began in 1996, while also capturing 8 titles in Dixie boys play since 1963. Congratulations to our Alabama state championship teams, coaches, and league officials. We congratulate our state champions from Fairhope and Opelika and hope that you'll win another title for Alabama. State Director DeMark Mitchell and Assistant State Director Brian Sharp would also like to congratulate the 2018 World Series 15U champions from Enterprise, Alabama. Billy Powell, Leisure Services Director, and the City of Enterprise are big supporters of Alabama Dixie Boys.
Georgia Dixie Boys Majors Baseball proud to support this broadcast. Jimmy Smith, Georgia State Director, wishes all of the teams the best in World Series play. We're glad that we could help support the live broadcast of the Final Four of the World Series that's being held here in Bossier City, Louisiana. And we congratulate our 2 state championship teams from Newton County and Columbia County. They are great representatives of our program. Bottom part of the second, Caleb Strout, Evan Griffith, Spencer Hawes due up in the inning 2. 3-zip Tennessee lead, a run in the first, a couple of runs in the second. Strout starting things off for this Florida team. 12 teams here, 11 states, and 1 host to begin the World Series, and we've taken 10 out of the picture. And down to these 2.
First baseman, Caleb Strout. Griffiths on deck.
The only game being played here after the Junior Dixie Boys World Series has been decided and Alabama takes home the title. Wrapped over towards short. Fielded by Bryant, goes over to first. There is a collision, and there is an out. Strott running into Jackson Hayes. Strott would have the bat end of that collision. Jackson Hayes, a big boy over at first. So Strott wrapping into the 6'3", Evan Griffiths coming to the plate. Informed, by the way, these are 80-foot base paths between bases. So instead of 90, it's 80 here in Dixie Boys World Series play. Well, it's just a sign of my aged eyesight. Couldn't distinguish the fewer 10 feet in the smaller diamond. Not that I needed another indication that I was getting old. Here's the 1-2 offering to Griffiths. Over into right field, there's a base hit, and Griffiths gets on with a 1-out single. It is the first Florida base hit of the game.
Griffiths singles to right, bringing up the left fielder, number 1, Spencer Hawes. Taylor on deck.
Spencer Hawes coming to the plate. Drew Taylor moves to the on-deck circle. We're in the bottom part of the inning. Florida trying to get some runs. Erase part of this lead for Tennessee, which is 3. More shout-outs bring home the big win, Tennessee, from Julie in Dyer, Tennessee. Bring home the gold, Coach Doug from Tennessee. We love our SGC high school boys playing for Tennessee. Let's go Connell, Bryson, and Jacob. Jenny Hayes from Tennessee is watching this awesome Tennessee team. These boys are champions on and off the field. Fielded at third by Harden. Goes to second for 1. They wanted to get 2, but Hawes will be on. Got the 5 and the 4, but not the 3. And there's 2 going. Hawes aboard for Drew Taylor. And Jenny Singh, so proud of her grandson, Jackson Hayes. Thank you, Jenny. Popped up, shallow center field. Able to charge in and make the catch. Bryson Robbins, and Drew Taylor will go down with a flyout. Florida gets a base hit out of the bottom part of the second, but leaves a runner stranded. 4 go up, 3 go down. Nobody scores. After 2, Tennessee 3. Florida zip. We head to the third and to the mid part of the Tennessee order.
team's frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
South Carolina Dixie Boys Majors Baseball proud to support this broadcast. Shannon Lopper, South Carolina State Director, and Brian Harlan, Assistant State Director, along with the entire South Carolina Board of Directors, wish all of the teams the best in World Series play. We're glad we could help support the live broadcast. Final 4 of the World Series that were held in Monroe, Chipley, and now in Bossier City. We congratulate our teams from Moncks Corner and Lancaster.
Coming up to bat for Tennessee.
Visit the website at dixie.org/boys for the latest information. James Wilson starting off the third for Tennessee. Jackson Hayes, Bobby Clifton due up in the inning too. Top part of the third, 3-zip Tennessee lead. In games Tennessee has played today, they've scored 16, and the opposition hasn't scored a thing thus far. 13-zip in the opening game, 3-zip in this one. Rolled to Santiago, gobbles it up, swings it over to first, and Wilson is out 1.
Wilson grounds out, bringing up the first baseman, number 9, Jackson Hayes.
1 away for Jackson Hayes. Hayes hit into a 6-4 in the first. He is 0 for 1 today. Bobby Clifton moving to the on-deck circle. Tennessee has had base runners and scored runs in both innings thus far. Trying to do the same here in the third. Pitches inside to Hayes. On the outside part of the plate, count evens up 1 each. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Fouled away, 1-2. Florida getting a base hit in the bottom of the second as Evan Griffiths gets a single, but remains scoreless as we get to the third. Carapresso has given up 5 base hits in 2 innings and 3 runs. On the outside part of the plate, Hayes strikes out, and for the first time, at least to begin an inning, Florida's got back-to-back outs.
Now up the bat for Tennessee, the left fielder, number 5, Bobby Clifton. French on deck.
2 gone for Bobby Clifton. Clifton had a double and scored a run in the second. He was driven in by Bryson Robbins' single. Swings and misses at the first Carapresso pitch. Brandon French moves to the on-deck circle. Garrett Carapresso, Connor Doyle, Connor Fosno coming to the plate in the Florida third. Here's the 0-1 offering. Comes in a little bit low. Shout out says Julie is proud of her grandson Jackson Hayes and the team. Go Tennessee. 334-488-1385. Shout outs in the championship game, Dixie Boys World Series. Here in Bossier City. Of course, the game at its conclusion, archived. You can watch it later as often as you would like. Want a copy of any game? We can fix you up there too. Email info@jockjive.com. info@jockjive.com. One ball, couple of strikes. Carapresso's pitch, high and away, and the count evens up at 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on here in the third. Clifton already with an extra base hit, awaiting the Carapresso pitch. Hits it over to first, took an odd bit of a hop on Strott, and will wind up in right field. Meanwhile, the throw coming in is going to give Clifton an opportunity to get to second. He will. So we will see, are you scoring that an error or a hit? It is an error on first baseman Caleb Strott. So the error, and then a throwing error too. A couple of mistakes there that gets Clifton into scoring position. Has Tennessee poised to do the same in the third that they've done in the first and second. A base runner in scoring position. Now for Brandon French. He fouls it off over towards first. Nothing in 1 on French. He struck out, was the first out in the second inning. Noah Moncrief moving to the on-deck circle. Carapresso ready to deliver the 0-1. Instead looks to second. Going back is Clifton. Major League Baseball's got a game in progress as the pitch is outside. And the count will even up. Mets on top of the Reds, 5-zip at the end of 5. Other afternoon games, Rangers and Mariners, Rockies and Pirates, D-backs and Phillies, Angels and Tigers. Then your night games, Braves have the Nationals, Rays the Orioles, Jays and Red Sox. Twins take on the Indians, Marlins the Cards, White Sox the Yankees, Brewers the Padres, Royals, the Cubs, and A's take on the Dodgers. Pitch goes to the screen. Clifton goes to third. Three balls, 1 strike. And a base runner at third. Here in the top of the third, hit over towards first. Strott making the catch on the foul line. French goes down. Clifton stays on. First scoreless top part of an inning in this one as Tennessee goes scoreless in the top of the third. We enter the bottom of the inning. Garrett Carapresso, Connor Doyle, Connor Fosno coming up when we come back.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
The Virginia-Dixie Boys Board with Ken Nelson as Boys State Director and Ronnie Adams, Major State Director, takes this opportunity to thank the many leagues in Virginia that play Dixie Boys baseball. We wish all of our teams the very best. We're also proud of our state and the many communities that serve as host sites for our tournaments. Garrett Carapresso starting off the bottom of the third, and the pitch will get him. And Carapresso looking out to John Wilson. He's not a happy camper as he walks down to first. And now a runner coming in, and I think coach, or make that the umpire is
Courtesy runner for the Florida
expressing to Carapresso that maybe Carapresso shouldn't express quite as vividly that he was certainly not happy about the pitch that dinged him. So a base runner aboard for Florida as Connor Doyle comes to the plate. First pitch to Doyle out of the strike zone and rolls away from Wilson. And that's got the courtesy runner for Carapresso, Parker Fenton, sliding in safely at second. That is Daniel McAvoy, by the way, that's running for Carapresso instead of Fenton. McAvoy is at second. Popped high into the air over towards right field. Catch made by Brandon French. And Connor Doyle with a fly out for out number one.
Now batting for Florida, shortstop number 26, Connor Fosno.
One out as we go back to the top of the order. Connor Fosno steps in. Fosno wrapped into a 4-3 in the first. Jeremy Santiago moving to the on-deck circle. Florida trying to get rid of the goose egg here in the bottom part of the third. As a base runner in scoring position, McAvoy running for Carapresso, got hit by a John Wilson pitch. And McAvoy comes in to run for him. And now has his lead at second. Sneaking in behind is Bryant. Fouled away by Fosno. Fosno 0 for 1, now 0 for 2 on the pitch count. 0 for 1 in the game, wrapped into a 4-3 in the first. Shout out says, run, PK, run, from SBB and family. Thanks to SBB. Jeremy Santiago moving to the on-deck circle. Pitch high to Fosno. Tennessee's fourth starts with the bottom of the order. Noah Moncrief will begin things. Popped up, foul territory. Jackson Hayes gives it a brief look. Thought about opening the gate and running down the sidewalk to make a catch, but probably wouldn't count. So stays put on the grass and now back over to first. Fosno awaiting the 1-2 offering. Sends it up the middle. Moncrief able to get to it. Over to first with a throw. Fosno is out number 2. Going to third is McAvoy. But he's there with 2 gone.
Florida, second baseman number 13, Jeremy Santiago.
Jeremy Santiago flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Miguel Wright moves to the on-deck circle. On the inside part of the plate, strike one to Santiago. John Wilson just reached back and reared back. Fires the fastball and blows it by Santiago, 0-2. Heat again, this time high though. 1 ball, couple of strikes on Santiago. Noah Moncrief, Bryson Robbins, Connell Harden coming to the plate in the fourth for Tennessee. High inside pitch, 2 apiece, the count now on Santiago. Santiago asking for time, gets it, steps out of the box. At third is McAvoy trying to plate Florida's first run of the game. On the outside part of the plate, Santiago struck out. That will become K number 2 in the game for John Wilson. It is the first looking. He got right swinging in the first. And left on is McAvoy. Nobody scores in the bottom of the third. We are headed to the fourth Tennessee leading it by 3.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
When you see the diamond empty, that's because we are in the top part of the 4th and you've got your 10-minute heat break. An opportunity for these gentlemen to get off the diamond and out of the heat. It is a warm day here in Bossier City. Temperatures at game time around 88 degrees. And those heat indexes then at 96. Let's see what we've got currently here in Bossier City. This is a 10-minute break, by the way. 92 and feels like 101. So you want to get out of the heat, out of the sun, take a break, and that's what this is designed to do, to give the gentlemen an opportunity to do just that. We can update you on how we got here. Tennessee in the top part of the 1st, 1 base hit. It was an RBI single by James Wilson that brought in Bryson Robbins. After the top part of the inning, Tennessee leads at 1-0. Bottom part of the inning, Fosno, Santiago, and Wright all go down. We've played 1. And at that point, it was Tennessee leading it by 1. Top part of the 2nd, Bobby Clifton gets on with a double. French strikes out. Moncrief grounds out. Then Robbins will drive in Clifton with a single. And a couple of at-bats later, Bryant will drive in Robbins with a single. Tennessee, after 1.5, leading at 3-0. We go to the bottom part of the inning. Florida gets their first base hit of the game, a single. But 1 base runner is left on. Nobody scores in the bottom of the 2nd. And after 2 complete, it's a 3-0 advantage, Tennessee. And obviously, the 3rd goes scoreless in the top and the bottom part. And after the heat break, we will head to the bottom part of the order and the top of the 4th, with Tennessee leading it by 3.
Leading off the top of the fourth for the Tennessee All-Stars, the second baseman, number 23, Noah Moncrief. Robbins on deck.
Well, we wrap up our heat break and get ready for the top part of the fourth, bottom of the order. Noah Moncrief coming to the plate. And I mentioned getting the gentleman off the diamond. It's also an opportunity for the umpires to get off the diamond for a moment and get out of this heat, which can be brutal. On a day like today with temperatures in the mid-90s and heat indices of 104, 105 plus, can be dangerous, so playing it safe. Getting everybody into the shade and hydrated. And now back to the baseball. Noah Moncrief wrapped into a 4-3 in the second, coming to the plate to begin the fourth. Shout-out says, let's go West Seminole. You can do it, from the Stallings family. First pitch from Carapresso outside of the strike zone. Bryson Robbins, Connell Harden due up in the inning, too. High chopper back to Carapresso. He will field, fire over to first, get it there in time to get Moncrief on the 1-3 putout. One away for Bryson Robbins.
Off the bat for Tennessee, the leadoff batter, center fielder number 4, Bryson Robbins. Harden on deck.
Well, let's see if the perfect day for Robbins continues in the opening game. 3 for 3, also walked. In this one, 1 for 2, and is also walked. Connell Harden moves to the on-deck circle. Carapresso's pitch, high and inside. Today, 6 trips to the plate, 6 trips to first and beyond. Low and away, 2-0 to Robbins. Moncrief out number 1. Robbins batting here in the top of the fourth. Florida's bottom part of the inning starts with a 3 spot. And now hit by the pitch is Robbins. There's the 7th consecutive time that he has gone over to first. Well, that's going to prompt me to go back
Robbins draws a base on
to
ball,
yesterday and see
the third baseman, number
how he
18,
did against Florida originally, or as in yesterday's play. He went to the plate 1, 2, 3, 4 times and got aboard twice, walked and singled, struck out, and also popped out to short. But he is on a stretch of going to first 7 consecutive times. Into the strike zone to Harden. Harden popped out to short and singled. 1 for 2 in the game. Jacob Bryant moving to the on-deck circle. 1 out, 1 aboard. 3-zip Tennessee lead here in the top part of the fourth. Let's get to some more shout-outs. Savannah said, go Tennessee, Uncle Doug. So proud of Connell Harden and the Tennessee team. Keep it up, boys. Melissa Harden watching in Jackson, Tennessee. Nothing in 2 on Harden. Here's the Carapresso pitch. Low and away with the delivery in the count 1-2. Well, let's see if I can recall. 15U Enterprise won it in the World Series. Pre-majors. On the outside part of the plate, Harden strikes out for out number 2. Jacob Bryant coming to the plate.
Now batting for Tennessee, the shortstop.
Well, the bad part is I think I can remember the majors. That was Bossier City, and I wasn't there. I was at the pre-majors and trying to remember who won that. But there again, you can't blame me. It's been a week, I think. Pitches outside. Harden a strikeout victim. One ball, no strikes. Make it 2-0. And Carapresso goes into the freeze frame mode. After delivering, just kind of froze. I think maybe believing that possibly that would eventually become a strike. Fouled away, 2-1. But it stays ball 2 now, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 gone. Robbins at first. Carapresso shaking off a couple of signs. Well, I guess I could make it simple and just go back in my scorebook and find out who won the pre-majors. Pitches outside. It was Louisiana. Took it all in the pre-majors. So Enterprise, Louisiana, Alabama, taking titles in Dixie Boys and Dixie Majors and pre-majors and Junior Dixie Boys. And here we are with this, the matchup between Tennessee and Florida. Tennessee by 3, lobbed over to first by Carapresso. Here's the payoff pitch. Bryant awaits on the inside part of the plate. Bryant strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Carapresso. That is K number 5 in the game for the Florida pitcher. We have played 3.5 going to the bottom of the 4th. Wright, Strott, and Griffiths all coming up for Florida.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Louisiana Dixie Boys Baseball proud to support this broadcast. Keith Powell, Louisiana State Director, along with the Louisiana Boys Board of Directors, congratulates all of the teams in World Series play. We're glad we can help support the live broadcast of the Final Four. 2018 Junior Boys and Dixie Boys Louisiana State champs from Jefferson Parish Recreation Department, East and West, are great representatives for our state. Our host teams from Bossier City do an outstanding job of representing their community and state. World Series tournament play, an exciting time for everyone. Bottom of the 4th, Miguel Wright kicking things off, and that will travel into left field, got by shortstop Jacob Bryant. And the facial expression on our official scorekeeper is pondering, which I would be doing the same. It's going to be an error. So an E6 that gets Miguel right on. Just a little misplayed by Jacob Bryant. And Miguel Wright aboard over at first for Caleb Strott. Evan Griffiths moves to the on-deck circle. Throw over to first. Safely back goes Wright. 3-zip lead Tennessee, but 3-zip not insurmountable. And probably not comfortable for the Tennessee squad. But if you're playing a game, you'd much rather have the 3 than the none. Into the strike zone, it goes to Straught. Shout out to Evan Griffiths and Garrett Carapresso from Uncle Roger and Aunt Eileen in Pennsylvania. Fielded by Hayes. Gable looked to second, thought about trying to get right, but instead gets the sure out of Caleb Strott. Right goes to second for Evan Griffiths.
Evan Griffiths. Hall's on deck.
So our viewers in Pennsylvania, here comes Evan Griffiths. One away here in the bottom of the fourth. Spencer Hawes moves to the on-deck circle. Just a little bit inside on Griffiths. The fifth for Tennessee will start with John Wilson. James Wilson and Jackson Hayes also coming to the plate. Couple of pitches outside of the strike zone. Griffiths, that one inside the strike zone from John Wilson. Wilson has not issued a walk thus far in the game. Hit to short. Bryant fields, pops, fires. Gets Griffiths, right goes to third, but there's two gone.
Batter for Florida, left fielder number 1, Spencer Hawes, Taylor on deck.
So two gone. Spencer Hawes coming to the plate. Over at third is Miguel Wright. Drew Taylor moves to the on-deck circle. John Wilson has struck out and he's popped out. High with a pitch to Wilson. First out in the first inning, last out in the second. Or actually make that 0 for 1. I'm hopping all over the place in my scorebook. And can't explain why, really. I think I went over and looked at the Tennessee side and saw that John Wilson was coming up. It's Hawes who is batting, with a base runner at third, that being Miguel Wright. Wright reached on the error, Stratton ground out to first that got Wright to second. Then Griffiths wrapped into the 6-3 that got Wright to third. Fouled off by Hawes. 1 ball, couple of strikes. And Hawes hoping to drive in the first Florida run, but instead strikes out and leaves that base runner on. 4 go up, 3 go down, 1 left aboard. Nobody scores in the bottom of the fourth. We are headed to the fifth, and Tennessee still got the 3-zip lead.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Tennessee Dixie Boys and Majors Baseball wishes to express its sincere appreciation to the leagues that participate in Dixie Boys and Majors Baseball in our state. We have outstanding local leadership, great community support, and the best young people that represent what is good about our country. The goal of our program is to provide a recreational outlet through the game of baseball for youngsters in the state of Tennessee. Top of the fifth, John Wilson starting things off. James Wilson, Jackson Hayes due up in the inning 2. Florida in the bottom of the fourth. Getting a base runner, but not getting a run. Still a 3-zip advantage. As we get to the fifth, Carapresso's pitch. It is fouled off of the headgear of the umpire. was doing a junior college game this season. It was at Georgia. I'm trying to think of the name of the college. Georgia Highlands College. And the umpire hit in the face by a fouled off pitch, and it just sent him backwards and knocked him off his feet. He hopped right up and continued the game. And then, of course, later on, I don't know if it was in the same game, but it was on the same day. I think it was the same game. This same umpire took a fouled off pitch. It was the same game, to the toe and broke the toe. So it was a rough day for the umpire. Not as severe results on the fouled off pitch by Wilson. There's a shot by Wilson to left field, but it's right to Spencer Hawes.
Wilson lines out to the left fielder, bringing up the catcher, number 10. James
One away
Wilson.
for James Wilson.
Hayes on deck.
One away as Wilson comes to the plate. He had an RBI single in the first, ground into a 4-3 in the third. 1 for 2 in the game. Jackson Hayes moves to the on-deck circle. Over into right field. There's a base hit for James Wilson. Second one of the game for Wilson. It is the 6th one for Tennessee. And the one-out single has a base runner aboard for the Tennessee team.
Jackson Hayes, Bobby Clifton
It brings
on deck.
Jackson Hayes to the plate. He hit into a 6-4 and struck out. 0 for 2 in the game. Bobby Clifton moving to the on-deck circle, bottom of the 5th. It is Taylor, Carapresso, and Doyle all coming to the plate. Slow roller, it will dribble foul. And making the U-turn to come back to the plate is Jackson Hayes. Hayes wrapped into a 6-4 in the first, struck out in the third, 0 for 2 in the game. Throw goes over to first. You could see that Wilson was kind of stuck in animated motion for a moment, and then realized the throw was coming over and drifted over to the bag, able to get back safely. Not a bad Carapresso move to first, but of course he's a lefty, makes it difficult for the runner. Not a big lead by Wilson. Floats over towards first. Catch is made by Strutt, goes over to the bag and picks off Wilson. So the double play is turned and the base hit is negated. Nobody scores in the top of the 5th. We are headed to the bottom of the inning. Still 3 for Tennessee, still nothing for Florida.
Ozark, a quaint southern town in southeast Alabama, home of Fort Rucker, the world's largest helicopter training facility, and the Army Aviation Museum. While you're in Ozark, enjoy unique shopping and dining. Visit our beautifully manicured downtown square, home of Claybank Jamboree and the Ozark Crawdad and Music Festival. Relax at Ed Lisenby Lake with its excellent fishing and 3-mile walking and birding trail. But no baseball enthusiast can leave Ozark without visiting historic Eagle Stadium, built in 1946. Come enjoy Ozark.
Florida Dixie Boys baseball proud to support this broadcast. Frank Hagler, Florida Dixie Boys major state director, and Denise Stallings, assistant director, wish all of the teams the very best. We recognize the commitment necessary to reach this point. We're glad that we could help support the live broadcast of the Final Four of the Dixie Junior Boys and Dixie Boys World Series. The 2018 Florida State champions from Spring Hill, Florida, and West Seminole are great representatives for our Junior Boys and Dixie Boys divisions. Bottom of the fifth, Drew Taylor starting things off. Garrett Carapresso, Connor Doyle due up in the inning too. Taylor popped out to center field in the second. Florida has produced one base hit. Evan Griffiths had a single in the second. It was a one-out single, and that's been it thus far. And to go along with Tennessee scoring runs, 16 zip today. Hit to third, fielded by Harden, over to first, and out goes Taylor. Pitching has been exceptional. Robbins in the opening game allowed one hit, and Wilson in this one has allowed one hit. So one away for Garrett Carapresso. He's been hit by a pitch and makes his second plate appearance here in the fifth. Connor Doyle to the on-deck circle. Connor Fosno has moved to the hole. High with the pitch. 2-0 on Carapresso. Right-hander steps out of the box, now steps back in. Here is the 2-0 offering. Into the strike zone, caught the inside part. I got a shout out that says, please tell Kelly Weaver to wave at the camera. Okay. Kelly wave. I'm assuming Kelly is in the stands. And maybe watching the game and watching the game, watching it live, and watching it on the phone as well. So if so, Kelly's been instructed. Out of the strike zone, and Carapresso is walked.
Carapresso draws the base on balls, bringing up center fielder number 2, Connor Doyle. 5-0 on deck.
John Wilson has only hit one and walked one, and both times it's been Carapresso.
Number 19, Daniel McAvoy.
McAvoy running for Carapresso over at first as Connor Doyle makes his way to the plate. Connor Fosno to the on-deck circle. High with the pitch to Doyle. Doyle 0 for 1. Tennessee in the sixth, bottom third of the order coming to the plate. Down the middle to even the count. One ball, 2 strikes on Doyle. Well, though this World Series is coming to an end, doesn't mean our baseball coverage has ended. Still got the AAA, the Ozone, and the Majors Dixie Youth Baseball World Series in Lumberton, North Carolina tonight and tomorrow. Swing, a miss. Doyle is out number 2. And also got the game coverage of the baseball there in Branson, Missouri at the Ballparks of America.
Santiago on deck.
And it continues through Saturday. So if you just haven't quite yet had enough baseball, we've got it for you through Saturday. And then on the 23rd, it's to the gridiron. Football coming up, Georgia Military College and Navarro on Thursday night, the 23rd. Swing miss by Fosno. McAvoy goes to second. And apparently, catcher James Wilson either was hit by the ball or the heat creating issues. And I think I just saw or heard the coach say, did you get hit by the ball? And he shook his head no. But Got a towel, dab in the face, but it doesn't look like a dab to cool off. Although some H2O now handed to the catcher. It is very warm, as I mentioned. We've had the heat-related break about 30 minutes ago in the top part of the fourth. But it doesn't take long, especially if you're wearing all that additional gear a catcher's got, to get very warm. I was mentioning football, though. Georgia Military College, Navarro on the 23rd. The following night, Bluefield-Graham game for the Great American Rivalries. Almost got a piece of Fosno. He'll turn away from it. And the count evens up at 1. Fosno, a couple of 4-3s, one in the first, one in the third. Jeremy Santiago next. Couldn't catch up with the fastball. One ball, couple of strikes, 2 gone. The base runner at second, McAvoy for Cara Presso. It is wrapped foul. Fosno out of the box, takes a cut, steps back in. Taps stick on dish, now ready for the 1-2 offering from John Wilson, who comes in high with it to even the count at 2. Jeremy Santiago next, bottom third of the order in the top of the 6th for Tennessee. Missing again is Wilson, and the count runs full. Tennessee scoring 1 run in the first, couple of runs in the second, nothing since. Florida looking for their first runs of the game. Three balls, 2 strikes. And apparently some debate about which baseball, and the one in the mitt in the hand now of John Wilson is the one that will head shortly, at least sometime this afternoon, towards Connor Fosno. Getting his lead at second is McAvoy. Here's the 3-2 pitch, fouled away. And a lengthy Connor Fosno at bat gets a little lengthier. Fosno steps back in, takes a strike on the outside part of the plate, leaving McAvoy on. So Florida again strands a base runner, but again comes up empty. We go to the 6th. It's still 3 for Tennessee. Florida looking for their first score. You are watching the Dixie Boys Baseball World Series on JockJive Sports.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Florida All-Stars, number 11, Drew Taylor.
Drew Taylor is the new pitcher for Florida. He and Garrett Carapresso swapping spots. Carapresso is now in right field. And Drew Taylor will come in from right to pitch. Carapresso working a total of 5 innings, facing 24, striking out 5, walking 2, giving up 6 hits and 3 runs before handing it over to Taylor. Taylor will face the bottom part of the order. Clifton, French, and Moncrief. 7, 8, and 9 due up in the inning. So Carapresso gets the start, works a total of 5. We go to the 6th, and Drew Taylor is the new guy on the hill for West Seminole. Georgia Dixie Boys in Majors Baseball wishes to express its sincere appreciation to the leagues that participate in Dixie Boys and Majors Baseball in our state. We have outstanding local leadership and wonderful community support. A great group of young people that represent what baseball in our country is all about. The goal of our program to provide youth the chance to play baseball in the state of Georgia. Come join us. Bobby Clifton starting things off. He has been aboard twice. Once because of a double, and then once because of an error. Came in and scored in the second on a Bryson Robbins single. That was after the double. Got stranded at third after the error got him on in the third. Couple of Drew Taylor pitches outside of the strike zone. Outside again, 3-0 to Clifton. Brandon French, Noah Moncrief due up in the Tennessee 6th. A game that got its start about an hour and 20 ago. Into the strike zone as Clifton takes, delivering is Taylor. And now time asked for by Clifton. There is additional activity in the West Seminole pen. That is Miguel Wright, who is getting some warm-up tosses for Florida. Pitches outside, and Clifton's walk to begin the 6th.
Clifton draws a base on balls, bringing up the right fielder, number 16, Brandon French. Moncrief on deck.
So Bobby Clifton on with a walk. Brandon French coming to the plate. French is struck out and popped out. He's over 2. Noah Moncrief moving to the on-deck circle. Clifton at first, being held on by Stride. Drew Taylor, the right-hander, with his back turned to the runner, looking over the shoulder to the runner, and then delivering into the strike zone to French. Don't think I've mentioned Facebook and Twitter. Need to do that quickly. Need more friends, need more followers. So while watching the game coverage, don't want you to close out the game coverage. Just open up a new browser. Click on the plus sign or whatever the indicator is on your browser. Find us on Twitter at JockJive, on Facebook, JockJive Sports. Like us and keep you updated on score schedules and more. What we're doing, what happened once we got there. And especially with these outdoor sports where you might have delays, it's the kind of info we provide too. You know how social media works. Facebook, Twitter, and of course, while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Clifton making his way to second. And now in scoring position for Brandon French. It is floated to short. Fosno thought about the runner at third, then waits to go to first, and safe at first is French. Well, it was that slight hesitation when Fosno thought about a throw to third to try to get Clifton. Then changed his mind and went to first, and now both are on.
Robbins on deck.
So a couple of base runners aboard. Noah Moncrief 0 for 2. He's ground out to second. He's ground out to the pitcher. Right-hander steps in with a base runner at first and third. Here in the top part of the sixth, Florida really would not like for this lead to get larger. Runner takes off for second. And the throw is there in the mid of Santiago. Tags out French. Clifton will stay at third. It was the perfect strike from Josh Valente. And French is gunned down. Clifton stays over at third, which is surprising in itself. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2 on Noah Moncrief. Bryson Robbins moving to the on-deck circle. Here's the 0-2 offering and comes in low, bounces away from Valente, but he'll keep it in front of him while giving a look over to Clifton at third. One ball, couple of strikes. And now asking for time is Moncrief. Well, there seems to be discrepancy in regards to the pitch count. Blue looked at the clicker, then made a statement that fans could hear, and they became disgruntled. Imagine that. Disgruntled fans with something an umpire says or does. Count even at 2. Two an offering to Moncrief. Get to Fosno. This time he's going to come home with it, and sliding right into the tag is Clifton. Out goes Clifton. Throw to first. Able to dive back safely is Moncrief. And now Tipper's beginning to flare a little bit. Two gone, Moncrief at first. And now fans beginning to exchange unpleasantries.
Now batting for the Tennessee All-Stars, the center fielder, number 4, Bryson Robbins. Harden on deck.
So Moncrief wraps into the 6-2. Out goes Clifton. Moncrief, the base runner at first. Bryson Robbins coming to the plate. And the left-hander trying to keep his day perfect. 7 trips to the plate and 7 trips to first. Strike delivered from Drew Taylor. First time that Robbins has seen Taylor, though. And it's 0-1. Connell Harden moving to the on-deck circle. Throw over to first. Moncrief able to dive back safely. Bottom of the 6th, Florida will send the 2, 3, and 4 spots to the plate. Jeremy Santiago, Miguel Wright, Caleb Strott coming to the plate. Here's the pitch to Robbins, fouled against the screen, 0-2. Shout out says, come on, Florida, let's get it done. You got this, boys. The Lounsbury family. Go with Seminole. Keep fighting from Coach Lounsbury. 0-2 offering. Upstairs, runner goes. Moncrief safely in. And there's a base runner in scoring position for Tennessee. So Moncrief with a stolen base now at second. Bryson Robbins coming to the plate. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Taylor. Moncrief at second. Big lead there. Chasing one outside. Robbins goes down, a strikeout victim. Well, you knew it had to eventually happen. He has been very successful today, 7 straight times on, but this time goes down as Taylor strikes him out. 1 base runner left on. Nobody scores in the top of the 6th. Let's go to the bottom of the inning. Florida coming to bat, down by 3.
Dixie Boys Baseball is proud to support this broadcast. D. Mark Mitchell, Alabama State Director, along with the Alabama Board of Directors, congratulates all the teams in World Series play. We're glad that we can help support the live broadcast of the Final Four. 2018 Junior Boys and Dixie Boys Alabama State champions from Fairhope and Opelika are great representatives for our state program. World Series tournament play is an exciting time for everyone. The Alabama Dixie Boys Board, with D. Mark Mitchell as State Director, takes this opportunity to thank the many leagues in Alabama that play Dixie Boys baseball. We wish all of our teams the very best, and we're proud of our state and the many communities that serve as a host site for the Dixie World Series.
Well, this meeting right about home plate, I think, is because things have gotten a little heated. And the umpires just want to keep a grip on the game, want to keep it under control, want to keep tempers in check. And feel fairly certain both coaches agree. Looked like a cordial conversation there at the plate, just to try to have both coaches to keep not only players but fans subdued. And now Tennessee will take to the field. And Florida will come to bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Jeremy Santiago, Miguel Wright, Caleb Strott due up in the inning 2. South Carolina Dixie Boys Majors Baseball proud to support this broadcast. Shannon Lopper, South Carolina State Director, and Brian Harlan, Assistant State Director, along with the entire South Carolina Board of Directors, wish all of the teams the best in World Series play. We are glad that we could support the live broadcast of the Final Four of the World Series that was held in Monroe and Shipley and now Bossier City. We congratulate our teams from Moncks Corner and Lancaster. Visit the website at dixie.org/boys for the latest information. Bottom of the 6th.
Tennessee, 37 for 16.
And there you hear the substitution, or probably 2. Numerically, it is 37 going in for 16. And if you look at names, that's Lucas Barger going in for Brandon French. And French, of course, was in right field. So now a new right fielder for Tennessee, Barger.
Number 13, Jeremy Santiago.
Jeremy Santiago taking the first pitch from John Wilson.
Right on deck.
Santiago has popped out to center field and struck out. He's 0 for 2 in the game. Into the strike zone to even the count at 1. One offering, chopping at it as Santiago comes up empty, 1-2. Florida had a base hit in the 2nd inning. They've had base runners in almost every inning, the exception being the 1st, but just have not been able to bring anybody in. Wrapped foul up against the screen. 1 ball, couple of strikes on Santiago. Bottom of the 6th, and opportunities running out for this Florida squad. But down by only 3, not a substantial margin. 1-2 offering. High inside pitch. Into center field, hit right to Bryson Robbins. Santiago out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. That brings Miguel Wright to the plate.
Number 17, Miguel Wright, stride on deck.
On the inside part of the plate to Miguel Wright. Miguel Wright, a strikeout victim in the 1st. He reached on an error in the 4th. Florida's had runners in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but have not had simultaneous runners with the exception, well, actually they didn't in the 2nd either. Had a base runner in Griffiths on with a single, and then Hawes wrapped into the 5-4. So there's never been more than a single base runner on for Florida in any inning. In the 1st, none were able to get aboard. But you know the game of baseball, 1 inning can be the difference in a victory or a loss. Florida hoping to have a big 6th or 7th. Tennessee kind of liking it like it is. World Series title will belong to somebody after this one in Bossier City. Here's the 0-2 offering to Wright. Wilson shaking off one side, picks up the other. Swing a miss, Wright strikes out. 2 gone in the 6th. Sixth strikeout of the game for John Wilson.
Number 5, Caleb Strott.
And Caleb Strott coming to the plate.
On deck.
He's wrapped into the 6-3 and ground out to first. 0 for 2 in the game. First pitch missing outside. Shoutout says, come on, West Seminole, bring it home from the Lester family. Shout out to West Seminole from the Walsh family, floating in the pool and cheering you all on. That wouldn't be a little rub there, would it? Getting to enjoy the pool while enjoying the game. It is sent into center field. There's the second Florida base hit of the game. Caleb Strout able to get on. And Strout on for Evan Griffiths.
The third baseman, number 23, Evan Griffiths. Hall's on deck.
So the 4 and 5 spots represent the 2 Florida base hits. Strout getting on with a single here in the 6th. It was Griffiths who had a single back in the 2nd. One ball, no strikes. Griffiths 1 for 2, singled and ground out to short. Toss into the strike zone. Count goes even at 1. Spencer Hawes to the on-deck circle. The Tennessee 7th starts with a 2 spot. Harden, Bryant, and Wilson coming to the plate for Tennessee. One pitch. Another one into the strike zone. One and 2 on Griffiths. Wilson's pitch fouled away. Griffiths able to get just enough of it to stay alive. The base runner at first, Strout. Florida is down to their last 4 outs of the contest. Got a piece of it, stays alive. Wilson trying to hang on to it, could not. One-two offering. High, ball two. Strott getting a really big lead at first and now takes off for second. There's a pitch on the outside part of the plate, and it gets Griffiths. 7th K in the contest for John Wilson. Another base runner is stranded. They've done that in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and now 6th. Left one on. 5 stranded through 6 for Florida. We go to the 7th. Tennessee trying to add a little insurance before going to the home half of the inning.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
The Virginia-Dixie Boys board with Ken Nelson as Boys State Director and Ronnie Adams, Major State Director, takes this opportunity to thank the many teams and leagues in Virginia that make Dixie Boys baseball such a success. We wish all of our teams the very best. We're also proud of our state and the many communities that serve as host sites for our tournaments. Top of the 7th, Connell Harden, Jacob Bryant, John Wilson due up for Tennessee. A 3-zip advantage. They would like to add a little insurance before going to the bottom part of the inning. Florida wants to keep it at 3. Shout out says go Tennessee, watching from Carlsbad, New Mexico. Thanks so much for watching there in New Mexico. Great to have you on the other end of the broadcast. We have reached the 7th. One championship has already been decided today. Fairhope, Alabama took the Junior Dixie Boys title. And the boys title will be decided here. Lifted over towards left, and the diving catch, it's in an area where I can't see the dugout, blocking the view, and I think the official says that's a fair ball. It is. Throw goes over to first. Then you got a collision and bodies on the turf, and Harden using the hands to shove aside Straught. And you've got Harden claiming that, well, I used the two-handed shove because Straught was in the base pad. And we're just trying to get back to the bag. Well, let's see what the officials, they have not indicated. Apparently it's a conversation with Harden, but not an out. It has gotten a little intense. And Straught is indeed on with a single to lead off the 7th. And it looks like Drew Taylor is done for the day. So a new pitcher coming in for West Seminole, the new pitcher after the break. deserved high fives over on the bench.
That was a great hit. Watch right here on JockJive.com.
Miller dropping in the three.
Breaking ball. High drive. Right center field. For the triangle it goes.
Top of the 7th with a base runner at first. Jacob Bryant in the batter's box. Jeremy Santiago is the new pitcher for Florida. Drew Taylor will work an inning officially, faced 5. Struck out 1, walked 1, gave up 1 hit. Did not allow a run, but the base runner on is his responsibility, so the book's still not decided where that is concerned. Pitches into the dirt from Santiago, and Harden will go to second. So Tennessee with a base runner in scoring position in second. Jacob Bryant coming to the plate. Obviously some defensive changes because Santiago moving from second to the mound. The new second baseman is Evan Griffiths, who was at third. So we got to have somebody at third. That is Daniel McAvoy. Those are the defensive changes. Santiago to the mound, Griffiths to second, McAvoy to third. Jacob Bryant walked, singled, and struck out. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. John Wilson has moved to the on-deck circle. Here's the 3-1 offering. Walk to Bryant, and the pitch goes to the screen, which allows Harden to go to third. Couple of base runners on.
Batter for Florida, for Tennessee, number 11, the pitcher, John Wilson.
John Wilson coming to the plate. He's 0 for 3 in the game. Has struck out and popped out twice. James Wilson moves to the on-deck circle. Santiago in relief of Taylor. Taylor relieved Carapresso. Wild pinch. Harden scores. And Tennessee's lead now 4. Bryant will go to second. Blue doing a little dishwashing before we get action back underway. John Wilson struck out as the first out in the first inning. Popped out to center field as the last out in the second, was the first one in the 5th with the fly out to left field. Batting here in the 7th as the lead has expanded, fouled away. Count evens at 1. Santiago shaking off one sign from Valenti, likes the other. Here's the pitch, and no wonder he liked it. Turns into a strike, 1-2 on Wilson. Florida in the 7th will try to rally with the 6, 7, and 8 spots coming to the plate. But they've got to get through the top part of the 7th first, and thus far nobody gone. Bryant, his lead at second. Fosno sneaking in behind him. Santiago gives a look. And there's a swing, there is a miss, and out goes Wilson, 1 away in the 7th. So Santiago follows up the walk with a strikeout. And there's one gone for James Wilson. Shout-out says, come on, boys, finish strong from Tennessee, Jenny Hayes. Go Moncriefs and all Tennessee team love Paul and Gaga. Inside with a pitch to Wilson. Wilson 2 for 3, 2 singles, has an RBI. When he hasn't been singling, he's ground out to second, wrapped into a 4-3 in the third. Got it on the handle, sends it foul. Count even at 1. Nobody in the Dixie Boys World Series with an unblemished mark. Florida forcing a 3-team championship day with a victory yesterday over Tennessee, 5-2. Tennessee trying to get revenge today and make it extra sweet with a World Series title. Florida hoping for a big rally in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 1-2 offering from Santiago. Missed barely inside. Two-two offering. Bryant with that lead again in second. It is lifted right over to short. Knocked down by Fosno. Whips it over to first. Not going to be able. Yes, he is able to get it there in time. 6-3 goes the put out of Wilson. Thought for a moment it was a little behind Wilson over at first, but blew right on it. Says the 6-3 got him. Bryant goes to third, and there's now 2 gone. Jackson Hayes wrapped into a 6-4, struck out and popped out to first. Batting here in the top of the 7th with 1 in and Bryant over at third. First pitch from Santiago outside of the strike zone. Hayes trying to hold up on the swing, could not. Count evens.
Clifton on deck.
Shout out says, let's go Connell Harden. Bring home the trophy from Mason Harden. Right back to Santiago. He will run most of the way to first. Underhand the rest. Get Hayes on the 1-3. Leaving Bryant on. Harden will come in and score. The lead is 4. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Florida needing runs in the bottom part, or Tennessee becomes the World Series champions.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
The Louisiana Dixie Boys board with Keith Powell as state director take this opportunity to thank the many leagues in Louisiana that play Dixie Boys baseball. We wish all of our teams the very best. We're also proud of our state and the many communities that serve as a host site for Dixie World Series. Our directors serve this program and provide great support. Bottom of the 7th, Spencer Hawes starting things off.
Spencer Hall is batting for Florida.
Florida needing 4. wanting 5, Tennessee needing 3. 3 outs. Tennessee getting a run in the top part of the inning. Harden coming in to score. Shout out says time for a walk-off, Florida boys. Count even at 1 on Hawes. Hawes wrapped into a 5-4 and struck out. He is 0 for 2. 1 and 2 on Hawes. It has been a nice performance by John Wilson. As a matter of fact, the pitching today for Tennessee, period, has been excellent. Opening game, Bryce Robbins pitches a 1-hitter. In this one, a 2-hitter, and then Hawes strikes out to begin the 7th. Daniel McAvoy batting for Drew Taylor. So McAvoy, who came in defensively at 3rd in the top part of the inning, coming to the plate here in the bottom part. McAvoy with a swing and miss. Garrett Carapresso moving to the on-deck circle. Nothing in 2 now on McAvoy. High with the pitch. 1 ball, couple of strikes. Shout out says thank you for your play-by-play. Last shout out to PK and the one for LBB from SBB and family. Well, thank you for watching the coverage. 1 away, a 1-2 count on McAvoy. Wilson's pitch. Missed but barely, and the count evens up. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the Wilson offering, awaiting his McAvoy. It's over his head. I think Wilson thought that was into the strike zone, thought that when McAvoy ducked, he was actually leaning over the plate. That's not the way Blue saw it. And it's 3 balls and a couple of strikes on McAvoy. Wilson, swing, a miss. McAvoy strikes out, 2 gone in the 7th. Nine strikeouts in the game now for Wilson.
94 pitches, 9-4.
Coach coming out. McAvoy, 94 pitches. Garrett Carapresso coming to the plate with 2 away. It has been a 9 strikeout performance for John Wilson. And again, just can't say enough about the pitching today for Tennessee. You think when you get to the end of a tournament, you've eaten up all of your pitching. Boy, they've had some good pitching today. A 1-hitter from Bryce Robbins in the opening game. John Wilson has only given up 2 base hits in this one. Both struck out 9. And Florida will have to rally with 2 gone if they're going to battle back in this one. It is over to 3rd, grabbed by Harden. Ball game over. And it is a victory that belongs to Dyersburg, Tennessee. They are the World Series champions, beating Florida by a final of 4-zip. So this one is over. 2 base hits, 2 errors committed, 5 stranded by Florida. They go scoreless 1 through 7 for Tennessee. 7 hits, 8 left on. They commit 1 error, get a run in the first, couple of runs in the second, and 1 in the 7th, and win the World Series by a final score of 4-zip. Thanks so much for watching our coverage. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook. Do the same on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to watch the game over and over again, it's available online. Or if you want a copy of any game, email info@jockjive.com. Been great to have you on the other end of the broadcast. Robert Williamson saying so long for all of us at JockJive Sports.